House accounts. So, house accounts are customers which are reserved to the manufacturer and to which the manufacturer supplies products directly. So, in an agency arrangement, the manufacturer, acting as principal, would not pay commission to the agent in respect of sales made to house accounts by the principal, even if the agent is in the principal's, even if the customer's in the agent's exclusive territory. So this may be desirable if, for example, the principal is receiving complaints by customers, so the principal is doing the work but still has to pay commission to agents because the customer is in their territory. A less obvious reason, though, is the fact that by careful selection of customers to become house accounts, the principal may be able to reduce its exposure to the agent on termination. The key in this respect lies in the amount which may be paid by the principal to the agent for the account taken in-house. In a distributorship arrangement, the supplier reserves the right to sell directly to house accounts, and in this way establishes or maintains a direct relationship with the customer. The supplier will also likely supply the products to the customer at a higher price than it's supplying the distributor. In our experience, it's much more usual for customers to be taken back from agents than distributors, but it is sometimes the case that a business acts as both an agent and a distributor for the same manufacturer. And the reason for this is that business acts as agent in respect of larger orders and as a distributor in respect of smaller orders which you can hold in stock and readily supply against. And if the business grows, it may well be that the manufacturer wants the distributor to move to act as agent in respect of all orders and then, in time, take back customers as house accounts under the agency agreement. So the first question which the manufacturer needs to ask is whether the agent or distributor has been appointed on an exclusive, sole or non-exclusive basis. So in an agency arrangement, exclusive agents have the right to receive commission on sales to all customers within their territory. If the agent has an exclusive territory and the account which the principal wishes to take back falls within that territory, the principal will, unless the agency agreement provides otherwise, need the permission of the agent to take the account in-house, and that permission usually comes at a price. However, it may be that the agent's not acting on an exclusive basis and instead has sole or non-exclusive rights to a customer. If the agent doesn't have exclusive rights, there may be no need for the principal to take the account back. It will simply be able to sell directly to the customer without paying commission to the agent in respect of the sales that it makes. Of course, depending on the strength of the relationship between the agent and the customer, it may be difficult for the principal to muscle in on that relationship and persuade the customer to sell directly. Buy directly, and the principal will still need to pay commission on sales which results from order which the agent has taken. It's therefore one thing that both the principal and agent have the right to sell to customers in a sole and non-exclusive relationship. It's another that by designating a customer as a house account, only the principal has that right. So there are two categories of house accounts. So customers which are designated as house accounts from the outset of the agency or distributorship. Sorry. I don't know how I make it big.
F5.
Sorry. And the second category, customers which are designated as house accounts during the term. So the first category is relatively easy. In a written agreement with the agency or distributor, the manufacturer can expressly set out the list of customers who are the house accounts and provide that the agent should not be entitled to commission in respect of sales concluded with those customers, and the distributor shall not sell to those customers. The second category is a little bit more complicated because the manufacturer needs express right to designate customers as house accounts from time to time during the term of the agreement. So the regulations do not address the issue of a principal taking back customers as house accounts, even where the agency agreement gives the principal the right to do so. So there is a risk that the principal will exercise their right to designate an agent's customers as house accounts so many times that it's open to the agent to say that the principal has destroyed the essence of the agreement. In those circumstances, the agent would be entitled to accept the principal's actions as a repudiatory breach of the agreement, treat himself as being constructively terminated, so the agreement comes to an end as a result of the principal's actions, and claim against the principal under the regulations. So in order to minimise the agent objecting to the principal's right to take back customers and house accounts, and then in turn bringing a claim for repudiatory breach of the agreement, a principal may agree from the outset to compensate the agent in the event that a customer is designated as a house account. And in our experience, we've seen here that compensation being calculated by reference to an agent's entitlements under the regulations on termination in respect of commission received on orders from that customer concerned only. So the effect of this is that when the principal wants to take back a customer as a house account, it pays the agent a sum representing commission in lieu of notice, and also an indemnity calculated by reference to the orders placed by the customer that's been taken over as a house account. But word of warning, even with such a clause, if the principal exercises their right too many times, the agent may be entitled to treat themselves as having been constructively terminated and claim against the principal under the regulations. So in a distributorship situation, the position is a little bit more complicated because typically the manufacturer doesn't know who the distributor's customers are. So the manufacturer would need to be in a position where the distributor is required to provide them with information during the term of the agreement, including the customer details. And this can be addressed by an obligation in the distributorship agreement to do so. If the manufacturer wants to provide that the distributor will receive payment in respect of a house account to try and minimise the risk of a distributor claiming repudiatory breach, the manufacturer can provide for a payment to the distributor, for example, a multiplier of the distributor's net margin. But again, it's possible the distributor won't want the manufacturer to know the margin earned by the distributor, and they also may not be comfortable with this or reluctant to agree to this because it may mean that the distributor needs to produce brand-specific management accounts, which will be time-consuming and an administrative burden. So really, in order for the manufacturer to take back house accounts, that right must work for both the distributor and the manufacturer and should be agreed from the outset. Finally, it's worth the manufacturer pausing in order to consider why they want to take back a customer as a house account. If the answer is that the agent is not servicing the account properly, or the manufacturer has concerns about the distributor's relationship with a customer, the manufacturer should consider performance managing the agent or distributor, with a view either to improving performance or laying the ground for termination of the relationship for the breach by the agent or the distributor of its duties. I'll now pass over to Oliver.